Hey, Karen. So, like when Trisha Paytas like streams, that's a good angle. When Trisha Paytas streams, she's always like, "Oh, the natural sunlight. Either when the sun comes up or the sun goes down. That's when I need to stream."
But
So
she never does.
she does, but she's a mommy now. You guys, I don't have the iPad. Um, our our AC is not working, which is not super bad because it's definitely cooled off. But it's a little muggy in there.
Yeah,
So
it is. I like this though, but it will be dark probably 40 minutes, 35 to 40
something
minutes.
like
So.
that. You can
But
hear everybody else's chickens. You can hear, thank you.
can you
Thank
guys
you
hear
so
the?
much.
You guys can hear the sounds of the forest and the.
Yeah. This, all of
that.
these trees behind us are, well, they don't belong to us. It belongs to our landlord, but I can say ours.
Yep.
Hey, Lizzie, how are you? It's very peaceful.
And about probably what 50 yards that way
Mm-hmm.
is ours. But if we were to flip the camera
I could
completely
flip
around,
you
that
can
is
see our work in progress.
you can see one coop, two coops, the platform for the third coop, and the enclosure.
Thank you, Ricky.
But
So
not the.
So should I? I could go show them.
Yeah, just
like,
flip it around real quick, or you want to walk around? Let's walk around.
Well, we will in a moment.
Okay.
The reason being is because right now the chickens are still going into their coop, and I want you to, without our interruption, hear how the pecking order goes. Because if a chicken comes in and it's not its turn to come in, it's a whole thing. And you know what? It's not a whole thing for Tiny. Tiny don't care. It's the other hens.
It is.
The other hens are the problem. So
things that you learn when you're, take on chickens, you think you're doing it for one thing, like we want chickens and all that, but then over the course of like a couple, 2-3 years, you learn they're like a whole community out there.
It's another reason we like aquariums. You can watch an entire little like town, how they interact with each other. I find it relaxing, don't you?
Yeah.
To watch how it goes.
Well,
hey,
also,
Clancy.
if you turn the light off in your aquarium in the bedroom, it's almost like a noisemaker.
That's very true. That's very true.
Make sure for the longest time, I wanted to like have a situation where I had a like an aquarium in my headboard. Like I thought that was going to be cool or whatever.
That. I've thought of that.
But I've heard the couple people that have weighed in on that have them, they say when they break, they're a pain because, your headboard, like, when you have an aquarium that you got to drain, if you don't drain it, it gets algae in it and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, if it runs like a charm, then it's kind of cool, but it's work. It's more work than like a regular aquarium. So.
Yeah. And you have to, it takes a while if you take really good care of it, you got to scrub the algae. And I have said this before, I worked at PetSmart for a while back in the day. So they're cleaning tanks all day long. Like, well, they're supposed to, someone is, but they don't. And
there's literally like 40 tanks there, right? I mean,
something like that.
It's crazy.
Something like that. Look, you can hold this.
What I've noticed is they still do this every night. They walk into the courtyard.
That's cool.
Where they used to sleep. They used to sleep in the courtyard. They don't anymore. They're now sleeping in the chicken house. They all walk into the courtyard for about 2 minutes and then go, oh yeah, I forgot we don't stay here anymore.
Yeah.
And then they walk over there.
And not only do they not stay there anymore, there's an actual panel blocking where they used to go into the coop. So they sit, they look at it, they talk to each other, and they're like, well, let's go try over here. And it's every night. Lizzie, I saw that. That is very cool. When we were having the problem with the dogs getting our chickens, we talked to animal control. You guys were on like a first name basis with him. He knows us. He knows. Yeah. So that would not be an avenue worth exploring because he knows us. But he was talking about the different types of chickens and how an Americana is considered a what? A fowl?
Oh, yeah.
The fowl species.
It's a fowl species, like F-A-W.
And it can fly.
Right.
I said.
So the Lizzie's friends' chickens are Americana type chickens because we found that out because when we had a dog chasing our chickens around, he was like, well, I said, I have Americanas, and then we have the Americanas offsprings running around. He said, they will go up in a tree. If the dog is chasing them around, they will eventually go up in a tree. They won't just scamper around on the ground. And which makes sense because like our Americana is maybe the oldest chicken we have that's not a silkie.
Look at that baby. Ellie's running by. I've got some footage to put together, some cute footage of Ellie, and we went to the carnival today. It was weird because, so listen, I didn't know that there was a fairground in this town. I had no idea, never heard of it, didn't know it was a thing. Today, like I said, I didn't say, but I was at the store and the guy said, have you ever been to the carnival in Cumming? So there's a carnival now on the fairgrounds for this weekend or a few weekends.
This is the last weekend of it. It
Weekend.
started last week.
So I came home and I was like, Sean, there's a carnival in Cumming, whatever. Do you know that Sean was like, all right, well, you want to go? And I said, well, yeah. And he was like, we're going. And so we went. The caricature that we had done is on the community page. Sean wants to show it, but I don't think we could get the right angle here, but it's on the community page.
We may use it as a thumbnail in the future.
You guys remember when you could go to Six Flags or whatever the amusement park in your area and get a caricature done for pretty cheap? Because, you know, when you're a teenager, you're broke, right? They're not cheap anymore. But I will say it's the first time I've ever had one done.
Really?
And it's certainly obviously the first time I've had one done with somebody else. And I just thought it was real cute.
The first time I've had one done with like,
oh shoot,
with like my girlfriend or wife. Or
right.
I've had them done as a kid and things like that.
I'd never, and it was interesting. He took his time doing it, and it was really good. I have some like clips of that. So we did that, and they ask you in the beginning, is there anything? Yeah, Lizzie, it was so much fun. Is there anything that you're sensitive about? And Sean and I were like, no, What I think is adorable is in the picture, she put my little roots on there because my hair is blonde, but it's got little roots. And I thought it was absolutely adorable.
It looks like he started it and then he stopped it.
It was so cute.
You know, but
anyway, I liked it.
If you like, yeah, you can check it out on the community page. Mandy notices stuff like that. Like the guy even said, what color are your eyes? He's looking at my eyes. And so I don't know if they're green or hazel or whatever. Mandy said they're hazel. And so but anyway, he did a good job. And there was 3 of them doing it. And I guess they take turns because, you know, they get whatever they get for it, but then you can also tip them. So by the time you pay for it and then have it done in color and then have it matted, because we put it like in a little sleeve in a little frame, and then tip him. Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
Yeah, it's not like it used to be.
But it's way special to us, and it's super special to Mandy. I didn't. So when we got there, you know, we go to this carnival and this like, and you kind of have a budget, you know, everyone's kind of have a budget, and we're like, well, we have this, and this. And the first time we walked by the tent where what do you call it, the caricature? We were like, oh, we don't, you know. And the longer we were there, the longer it was like, you want one? I mean, we can do one. We were watching the pig races. They had the pig races. Yes, we live in the country. So so we were watching the pig races, and this kid comes by with his girlfriend, and they look good. So then we sort of talked ourselves into it, and but it was good thing.
And he did it. We saw someone else that had one, and that was kind of sealed the deal. So you guys, when we were at the petting zoo, and I'll put some obviously some pictures. They had chickens of all different species and all some of them like that you've seen in clips, like the ones with the wild hair that they always, those are called,
the frizzles?
Yeah. They're called frizzles? I thought they were Polish frizzles. Yeah. So, so they had these little cages made of like chicken wire, and they had a little food dish and a hose with a little dropper that they bump their beak against to drink. And I guess, you know, if you teach them young enough, they can do that. Their feet were on this chicken wire, and it was little tiny squares of chicken wire. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the lid. But chickens scratch. So a couple of them, I was like, their little feet. Anyways, you know me.
Yeah,
and a couple of them looked like they weren't feeling well. But so I was like, don't be that one. Don't be that one. And we moved on.
But it was pretty amazing to me because we go into this petting zoo, and you know, she's observing these birds, and she's like, that one doesn't feel good. And then she was starting to feel.
It wasn't feeling good.
And I was like, I mean, that made me. I realized that how much that she cares for animals and how much she's learned about our birds and everything. Yeah. But we got to see Bantam types. Like bantams are little versions of
Yeah, you can hear the crickets.
several species and stuff like that. And I said, that's what, our rooster would look like if it was a bantam.
Yeah.
And so I think that's pretty cool because we're looking after we get all these enclosures done, having some bantams and having some bantam silkies that kind of have their own habitat where they're not out and about. And if you actually see them, they're a lot smaller, than 5 bantams takes up so much less space than 5 regular sized chickens.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. There was a tiny. I'm gonna put that thing in there too. Tiny is not Tiny, you guys know. He's a huge rooster, but I named him Tiny. I don't know why. They had a bantam Tiny.
I was trying to
So there was a tiny.
There was a tiny. And when I was trying to explain that to Mandy, I'm like, come here, his name's Tiny. So it's a small Tiny. It's a small Tiny. And she was like, oh.
Lizzie, thank you so much for asking. How is your iron doing? It is low but stable. So there you go. It crept up a little bit. This last test, I'm normally right now, they're doing blood tests about once a month, once every 6 weeks, just because I'll have the symptoms and then they'll kind of plateau. But so it's low, not low enough for an iron infusion, but it's stable, so it's not getting any lower. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Karen, yes, they adapt. Like when a
Go
chicken
on over there, Diva.
When a chicken gets got, they all kind of look around for a second, meaning something grabs it. And like, we've never seen it happen, but we've come out after it's happened and they're like, okay. And they regroup and they move on.
Yeah. They deal with it a lot better. That's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody just took Mandy. Somebody just ran off with Mandy. It'd be a whole thing for, animals that kind of freak out for a minute and they're like, all right, so you need to set the table for 5, not 6 tonight. There's only 5 of us, so that's
it's so
don't
funny.
need to send that. Don't need to set that 6th plate.
It's like it's fun though. So we have these habitats underway, and we let ours free range. And once you've seen them and I don't think they're in a cage like that all the time.
No.
But I don't think they should be in something like that at all. It's not good for their feet. I mean, that's the biggest thing is that they're...
Even flat ground is better.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like the wire went all the way around. And so their toes are in the wire. The best thing to do is have like a little stick or a little perch for them because they like to curl their feet. That's healthy for them. But, I guess it was freaking them out. Their feet, would go down into these little
And
holes
what's funny is there was like a rooster and a hen of each type.
Did you hear the rooster back there?
I did. It's that way. It's coming from that way.
There's one, and there's ours, and there's one behind us. So there's at least 3.
Karen lost her leghorn. I think we think, because it's a group thing, a coyote got it. They were circling that day, or that the neighbor said they were there that night, and that sucks, man.
But that leghorn is also the grandma chicken of some of them that we have, a couple of them that we have here that those of y'all that have followed us know that Karen mailed some eggs across the country to us, and so a couple of our chickens
we
are
hatched
here.
them.
Yeah, the ones that we
hatched them. Another, I'm making sure I get everything. Yes, Clancy, a Coke can. Used to get into Six Flags free, you just had to take a Coke can or half off or something like that.
Clancy, how old are you, man?
He's
the 80s. It was like that.
I think he's younger than me, but I don't know how much younger.
Really? Because I remember in the 80s, it was you get a Coke can, you could get into Six Flags and stuff like that.
I think I turned it. Yeah, exactly. But I thought someone was talking. It was me. I accidentally turned the volume up. So yeah, that was what we did today. We had like a corn dog. You guys, their food, all of their food looks so good. And you're like, number one, it's the price. But number two, you can, you're like, how many nasty junk food items can I eat before I get sick? We did not get a deep fried Snickers. Sean looked at it and goes, what? And I said, oh yeah, it's a thing. Sometimes they deep fry butter. I've heard of deep fried butter.
If I was still smoking,
hey, Starbright,
like that,
good to see you.
If I had smoke a bowl or something, I would probably eat 10.
You'd be like
deep fried Snickers. I just didn't seem like. But there's plenty of people in line for them. Yeah. I mean, but when you first walk in, you have you go in and there's literally probably 15 different food trailers.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
15 or 20 of them, and then they're just like barbecue and all kinds of stuff. There's also a little row that has like all the organizations. Like we thought it was interesting. I took a picture of it, and it's the Forsyth County Democrat group, and it's not very big, so because it's a
30.
highly
That's what I thought.
highly conservative area of Georgia. So, but right across from them, they have the Republican tent.
The Tea
So
Party tent.
they were able to like yell back and forth to each other. And then down the road, they had different organizations. Then they have some religious organizations. Some guy comes up to us and says, I can ask you 2 questions. It'll determine whether or not you're going to get into heaven. And I was like, well, I'm working on that on my own. I don't want you to tell me.
And I just think that's no way to spread the gospel. That's just not the way to do it. I don't like that. But
Dan Clancy's only 30.
He's way younger. The one that the Tea Party one, the VFW, and it doesn't matter how you feel about it because it is what it is, and this is what they're doing. They're giving away 2 AR-15s. I guess it's a raffle.
They're raffling them off like the last, like the 29th, which
I didn't even know you could do that.
I think the first is like, what, a Saturday or something like that?
Something like that. I said, you guys are like across from the, Democrat tent or whatever. And he picked up his microphone and started announcing they were giving away, whatever. And
he said,
you can tell them, I just want to say they have vendors everywhere, but this last stretch, they put the Tea Party, the Democrats, the church people, what else? Mostly the religious and political stuff.
Starbright says, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Kirley, big hugs. Good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah, so what the Tea Party thing was saying was, they're over there trying to take away your guns, and we're giving guns away over here. So it's...
Hey, Presley.
Anyone that knows me knows I'm not a real political dude.
We're not political.
I try not to be.
Which is why we were like, just kind of mesmerized by both tents, like looking at what they had to offer or whatever, or what. We didn't explore the Democrat tent too much, but
I wouldn't really just many of them at all. There was one tent that has a veterans group that meets on like the 1st and 3rd Tuesdays of the week or whatever. So I was a little bit interested in that one.
We missed the haunted house. Can you imagine if let me tell you about a haunted house. For me, it's a waste of money. I hit the door running and I don't run and I don't stop until I get out the door. Yeah. It's a waste of money. Like, I'm pushing people out of my way going, move.
Babe, we paid $25 for
I'm like,
and you're
move.
Done. I'll wait for you.
When they start that chainsaw with no blade and start coming for you, I'm done. Yeah. I'm done. If you are in my way, I'm going to trample you.
We do have some, and I'm supposed to remind Mandy tonight before we go to bed to put all these clips together for something. They have pig races. So they have, what is it? Well, you can watch the clip. And
ATX gives her seal of approval. They took very good care of the pigs.
They did.
They were in good shape.
They were very happy.
It was all fun. They were happy.
Pigs wag their tails like dogs do when they're happy.
They wag their tails I didn't know that.
And
when you said that, I didn't know if you actually knew that or if... he actually knew that.
Like a pig that's in distress or is not healthy or whatever, they have little tails.
I didn't know
when
that.
They're happy and healthy and eating,
Me too.
They wag their tails just like a dog does.
Exactly. Presley's doing her granddaughter's hair for homecoming. Fun. Let's see.
You guys notice how it's getting darker? It's still a pretty good picture.
We don't have do a get ready with me, your makeup. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do need to do another one. I have not done those in years. I need to do one. Yeah, haunted houses. Karen hates haunted houses. I feel you, man. But I go to them. That's the thing. If Sean said, no, I really want to go to it, I'll be like, we'll go to it. And I'll try to stop and look at all of the things. But I'm telling you, they start a chainsaw.
Yeah, they take the teeth off the chainsaw, and then they start it up. So it sounds just like a regular chainsaw.
And you smell the gasoline. Hey. Did you make it through Hurricane Helene okay? Oh no, you're in Asheville here.
Oh no.
So glad to be. Heck yes. Today when our air conditioner we realized it was broken, I was like, Sean, I'm so grateful. And he was like, what? And I said, it's our air condition. Like, we can deal with that. That is. Yeah. All of these.
There's a lot of people.
They have put everything into perspective. And it's like, do I hate that it's hot in there? Yes. Am I happy to be alive and have a house and have my animals? Absolutely.
Yeah. It's really easy to walk in to a house that it's 78 degrees in there, 79, and it's only 74 outside, and get irritated by it. And But yeah, I mean, this whole month, the last like 3 weeks, you know, there's people in Florida and then people in North Carolina, especially all over the Southeast. But I remember the night, you know, I remember it like it was, but when Helene was coming in, it came in the middle of the night. When it came through Atlanta, you know, we could hear some rain, we could hear some wind, and then, you know, the sun came up, and we were, you know, it was rainy out and this and that, but it nothing really here. We didn't even lose power here. And it was just like, I remember in 2005, I was living in Louisiana when Katrina hit, and same thing. We got up in, you know, that morning afterwards, you know, Katrina came like in the middle of the night, you know, and it was okay. And then this, you know, everything starts trickling in, and all the you know, all the pictures and all, you know, the radios start crackling with stuff because, you know, a lot the people and I'm talking about Sheila, where you are in Asheville, and I have friends in Asheville. There wasn't a whole lot of people stuff coming out of there because, you know, signals were down, and, you know, power was down, and, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, the weather people weren't there, you know, they were down in the Panhandle, and it is, you know, places like Lake Lure and Chimney Rock were literally destroyed, and it's you really have to look at how, you know, towns that are so high up get destroyed by water, and read how that happens. You know, the rivers just can't handle it. Even that elevation, and yeah.
Hey, Colleen. Hey, Sheila. Y'all, if you can, subject to Sheila's channel. Karen, you're welcome to drop the link in there. I just peeked into her channel and subbed. Sheila has been around, looks like since 2016. Good for you. I love your Abby. And y'all give her a sub.
So 2016, if she was hanging around in the drama community, she knows a lot.
I don't know if Sheila's, I don't, hey, I love the rainbows, Presley.
Yay. And you can really see them because it's getting dark out here. So you can see the rainbows on there.
Exactly. After the last live, I checked my PayPal. I'm so sorry I didn't see it while we were live. Presley, thank you so much. That was awesome. Mealworm money, honey.
We encourage
Thank
Presley.
You, Karen.
We encourage her to go to the casinos because when Presley does well at the casinos, she's got good luck, and she shares her.
Yeah.
She shares her
with lots of different things, lots of different people. Do I look? Oh heck no, I don't do YouTube except to watch. There you go. There's a rooster crowing, which means that either there's not our rooster, means there's either, look how much I know. There's either a hen that's not home yet, or something has pissed him off.
It could be something like the owner, like Tiny doesn't do it so much anymore, but I'll come out and I will like clean the coop, or I will move stuff around. And then as I'm walking away, he reestablishes that he's the alpha there. He'll just cock-a-doodle do a couple of times. And it's like, dude, I'm not coming out.
And I didn't catch it on tape, but I did catch it afterwards. That rooster that has been coming over here, I told y'all about him. We hatched him. A neighbor has, you'll see here all this in there, and it's going to be an open vlog, but
you got a lot of
yeah. And so he came over and was standing in the trench. Tiny went up to him. Hey, Stitching. Tiny went up to him or whatever and stood there. And I was like, oh, I guess they're cool. Sean was like, yeah, I guess they're cool. And then the rooster kind of opened its wings. Not like he was going to fight. Sometimes they do it to stretch or cool off. That was it.
Tiny didn't like
Tiny
that.
said, okay, get the hell out of here. I don't think Tiny was ever okay with him.
You're not even allowed to.
He was like, and then Tiny chased him and then stopped like before the road and was like, and stay gone. Anyway, Tiny's like, I'm old. I don't want to fight with you.
I don't mind the other flocks coming over and hanging out, but we just don't want the roosters to fight. There is now a couple of different, our flock free ranges. There's another flock that we have noticed that part of that flock is out here and it's free ranging as well. And as long as everyone can coexist, that's fine. But roosters tend to fight each other when they go too close to their where they roost at night. If wherever he gathers his chickens and his hens for the night, if another rooster starts coming around there, it's not okay with him.
It's not.
It's the other way around too. If Tiny was to venture over to wherever he roosts, so
But
That's just the way it goes.
the interesting thing is Tiny is the dad, is this rooster's
Yeah.
dad.
Mhm.
So I think Tiny's like, yeah, it's crazy. But you see that too. All of our
It's pretty cool because it's like almost dark out here, but yet you can still see us pretty clear.
it's a clearer picture almost than it is inside.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that weird?
it's about probably 68 degrees out here right now. And it's probably about 75
Yoga.
degrees inside, so we'll open the windows up. And
Stitching's
the
full
sun
of food
comes out-
right now. She said she had a bunch of desserts. Her salad was a hit. I think she went to a get-together.
Yeah.
There's Mama Ricky. Wow, took a CBD break and shit got dark. Wow,
did.
the sun went down. It does.
It is.
It goes from light to dark fast. And I do feel like that here it does it quicker, and that's probably very dumb to say, but we are in technically we're in the mountains, right?
Well, we're at the base of the mountains,
base
but
of them.
it's a lot of trees. It's like I was trying to look north for the.
Have a good night, Sheila.
Thanks you for coming in, Sheila. The northern lights, you
Yeah.
know, you could see them over, earlier in the week. You guys know that there's someone's. Is that Ellie or is that someone else's?
That's
cat?
the other cat. Hey,
That's the
black cat.
Hey, black cat.
That black cat has a home once we decide.
But I couldn't see the northern lights from
Kitty,
here.
kitty, kitty.
It's the perfect place to see it, but there's so many trees around us that I wasn't able to see over the trees.
Yeah. I'm distracted by the cat. Bill needs a friend. Thank you. I know. I think the Canadian Thanksgiving, Karen, is way before the American Thanksgiving. I may be wrong. Stitching can clarify, but it's either after or before. I guess that's depending on how you look at the calendar, right?
Yes.
It would be after if in one calendar year it fell after it.
Yeah. Colleen said I'm in the mountains in eastern Tennessee and it goes down quick. It does.
It goes down really quick.
It's I remember when I would train out in the Mojave Desert, so it's this flat desert area, and it would take a long time for the sun to go down because it actually goes all the way down to the other horizon. But once it was dark in the desert, it was really dark.
Yeah, really dark,
you
right?
can't see anything. I mean, there's a chair 4 feet in front of me right here. If someone was sitting in it talking to me, I wouldn't be able to see them. I'd be able to hear them, obviously, but yeah, it's that's the way it is.
Yes, Stitching is our Canadian friend. I think Stitching is also makes jars and things as well. We had the northern lights the last couple of nights, been beautiful. Like he was saying, I wish we could see them. The stars are beautiful in the desert. I've heard that.
The stars are beautiful in the desert.
Happy place.
You can see them. I remember even in Iraq, the desert in Iraq, I remember when we were not in Baghdad and we would just be maneuvering to another town, like when we got extended. So we would camp out in the middle of the desert because it's hard for people to sneak up on you when they got to come from wherever. And you look up at the stars and they are the same stars that, that's
like the song from Lone Star.
Yeah, it's the same stars that you could see. They might be a little different in the different parts of the sky or whatever, or at different times, but it's the same. You're looking up at the same thing.
The same thing.
Yep.
People watching who are comfortable, do y'all remember Lone Star, the group? Tell me what your favorite song is if you listen to Lone Star. That's better than one in the chat. That's lame. But what is your favorite Lone Star song?
I like I'm Already There.
Yeah.
I'm Already There. They have a version about the soldiers, the messages from home. I cannot. I could put it on right now and not be able to get through the whole song.
Yeah, it's bad. It's sad. I mean, it's not sad. It's tearful. When that song spoke to a whole bunch of soldiers, and the song that the wives were all kind of listening to was Shadazy's
Come Home Soon.
Come Home Soon.
Yeah,
that was kind of a perfect song during that time. So, but
are you able to flip that around real quick and look?
Yeah, I can. I like Amazed.
Amazed is good.
Yeah. Hold on, I'll flip you
We're going to
around.
try to flip the camera directly around because it should be showing.
Yeah, it is fine to flip it.
There it is.
Okay, let me carry it over here.
Kind of show them it.
Walking through leaves here. Okay, so we've got that. This platform right here is almost done. Karen, this is you got to show this to the hubs when afterwards, or if he's looking. Brooks and Dunn is good too, Presley. If I don't catch your comment, I will catch back up. Okay, so we have, I might even show you inside the chicken coop before we close the door. Right now, this is the coop where it is. Our neighbor helped us. He moved it. Remember how it used to be bumped up against this? He moved it. This green thing is going to go on here. We had to add those extra boards at the end. We haven't screwed them in yet, those extra side ones, because that right there, guys, is how many pallets? 6 pallets? 6 pallets, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 6 pallets.
10 boards.
I'll show you. Hold on.
Wood that came from Texas.
So this is called a walk around, right? We're chooching the chicken coop.
I'm gonna get my
that's our deer food. Okay. Okay. So this is the coop. Okay, so it stays so wet. We put those stepping stones in there. Most people would know, but if you don't, that's why we did that. So what's gonna happen, and I put these too so we could, this right here is going to go on top of this. And our silkies are going to be in it so that nothing can get them, because there's a top on that kennel. There's a top. So this is that. Then remember the second coop, the little nursery coop? That one is going to move to the other side of this one in preparation for the fence. There's their water. I'm going to show you inside from 2 angles. Thank you, Karen. Right here is the little doorway. Hello. There's some on the perch, and there's going to be some over there. I know we're going to go to a better angle. Oh, I need to cover this. Something will eat it tonight. Actually, it needs to go inside. Anyways, we'll put that lid on. So
there might be a couple in here.
Let's see. Don't yell at us. We're just looking. Okay, so this is.
There's Diva.
I'm gonna show them. This is Diva. Diva had a buddy when it was a baby. Now it's going that way. The rest. I'll show you when we get in. That's Diva, the Bantam Silky, and those are just trees and stuff. And okay, sorry guys. We've got their water, their food, the Orpingtons. I can show them without the flashlight. You want to? Oh, you're counting.
5,
Okay.
6, 7, 8. There's all 10.
Mr. Tiny. Now the rust-colored one. Did she go back in with Diva yet? There's a barred rock. Yeah, shut that, and I'll shut this. So they got their food. Tiny. Oh, okay. So this rust-colored one goes and lays with Diva. Diva has been looking after that one since it was tiny. So that's Diva's buddy. It protects Diva, keeps Diva warm, and doesn't let the other chickens pick on her.
That's why she's got her head in there.
Yep, she's making sure nothing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, she went back, making sure nothing bothers Diva.
She does.
And
normally when they're done, there'll be one up there on the. There'll be more spread out.
We'll lock it before we go to bed, and then lights. So it's a work in progress, but we're getting there. Once it's gonna still be a nursery one. I think we're gonna put it on the. Well, we're gonna replace right here and put it on skid so the water can't get it. We've got all of the materials. I just need to do it. So yeah, that's that. And then we have Ellie was there. Ellie's not there anymore. Anyways, that's that. That was a walk around. I'm not leaving. We will when it gets too dark, but I'm gonna go back up on the deck. We gotta dodge the deer food. This is the steps that Sean stepped off of and broke his foot. Do you remember when Sean broke his foot? You might not be able to see us very well, but we're gonna stick around for a little bit longer and catch up on your comments. Did I get it? There we go. Okay. Got it, right? It's on there. We don't want it to fall.
Okay?
Well, I said you might not be able to see us, that we would, but we'll stick around for a couple more minutes. At least our camera's on, right?
Yeah.
Catch up on the comments. Thank you. I like to build.
You guys, and it's all Mandy. It really
You
is.
help me though, haul the stuff
I mean,
around.
I do, but I don't have.
Thank you.
I don't have even the vision.
Just Ricky thinks you have sexy legs.
Who, me?
You know what I think is super sexy, and he didn't do it until he met me. I love the socks with the like Adidas open-toed flip. You know what I'm talking about. They're not really flip-flops. They've got the thing. I've always thought that was super sexy, which is really weird to, of all things, think that's sexy. But it's kind of a casual, kind of, I don't give a fuck kind of look.
And you got to have good feet too. You got to take care of your feet. I bet you don't want, you look at some of these videos where they're like repairing, the gnarly feet, and they.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
You ever see that where they get a doctor and they're working on these toes and these?
And they're usually elderly people who no one's looked after their feet.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, after caregiving for a very long time, if there is a person, especially if they're compromised, they've got some sort of dementia, they are not going to let you touch their feet. You know what I mean? And even if you try to nicely convince them, and you can't cut toenails as a caregiver anyway. You can file them, you can paint them, you can't cut them.
Yeah.
I don't even think a registered nurse can. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think a registered nurse can do it.
So Primitive said, it is weird. Laugh
Oh,
out loud.
actually, yes,
she
you
goes,
can.
men's feet are interesting. That's what So Primitive says.
You can compliment Sean all day long.
Yeah.
Presley, hit on Sean. You'll make his night.
Colleen says Meghan Markle's toes are hideous.
They are. She's got a... Y'all, do a Google search. Meghan Markle's toe. She's got this crazy toe. And she tries to hide it. There's whole, YouTube channels, that are named after her toe.
There's a... So, it's not really about sports, but there's a sports broadcaster, and his name is... Booger McFarlane. Boogers is not his real nickname. And he's got a finger that is literally broke at a 45-degree angle.
And he got a ring on it. That's what I don't understand.
So I don't know how he got the ring, but he'll be analyzing a game, and he'll be doing his hands like this, and it's like, oh my God, his finger. Oh my God, his finger.
But you didn't even notice it till I told you.
Well, then I looked it up.
Yeah,
I looked it up, and it was a whole thing. It's like Booger McFarlane's finger. But he's a good analyst, so...
Meghan Markle is, I'm going to pin that, Ricky, I can't, remember I told you to start setting it for nighttime so you could see easier?
I did.
And now I can't, no, you did what
You told me to do that.
I know. Well, I'm going to drag it up, and then it'll go back to, then we'll set it back to the way it's supposed to be.
I wish there was a backlight for the phone so they could see us.
Yeah.
But.
I have great feet. My son asked if he could sell my feet pics. Hey.
Oh my gosh.
Let me tell you, there's whole OnlyFans page with feet.
Don't tell him about that. Don't tell him about my page.
About your page. Okay, Rod Stewart, do you think I'm yeah. Oh, did she say you look like Rod Stewart? I missed that. Thank you, Ricky. Mama Ricky loves our house. Presley. Let's see, CC. Oh, and Presley said that. Sexy legs, love your socks. That's what I'm talking about. The socks, and they're not Adidas, guys. They're Walmart brand, but...
I never wore... and I lived at the beach for what? For 6 years, right?
Yes, stitching.
Mandy was, astounded that I didn't wear sandals. I was the guy that lived at the beach, would walk on the beach, and everywhere I went, I had, shoes and socks on. And I think it's because I'm fishing a lot of the time. But
you wore shoes and socks fishing?
I wore shoes and socks all over the place and at the beach though.
That's what I'm saying.
You just don't wear sandals on the pier, but people do. It was about 18 months ago when I really started to wear sandals, And
I told you, I said your foot will build a callus in your toe, so it doesn't hurt as bad.
Yeah, but I was spending all my time at the post office, so
Yeah. Now he's spending all of his time doing other things. Like we build, we tidy up. I'm gonna cut some of these little scrawny trees that are blocking, that aren't, you know what I'm talking about, trees that are just kind of junk trees, if that's a thing. Obviously not the big trees, but I'm gonna cut down all the little trees like from here 6 feet back or something
No,
like that.
no, let
And
that
we're gonna
sink in.
rent a mulcher and we're gonna put the limbs through the mulcher. And I already have some other limbs that need to go through it too.
See how, how much of that was my vision and my idea? Zero. I will help get the mulcher, but I guess when she's out here with a chainsaw or a machete cutting down limbs and trees,
It'll be a chainsaw.
and making lumber out of it, I'll like sweep and do the dishes or whatever.
Right. It'll be a chainsaw. We're gonna need a chainsaw. But what I don't know is how to do it where those little stumpy trees don't grow back. What do you put on the, like you cut it all the way down to the ground?
Normally, if you cut it all the way down, it won't
come back.
It
Do
might,
you put tar
but,
on
but,
it or something?
but it'll be like a sapling that comes out the side or something. It'll take forever for it to grow, but it might.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Karen said she's got a socks and shoes husband too. Put mulch around the coop. Yes. Yes, stitching. Stitching, did you ever get your cold weather chickens? You were telling us about that. I think, gosh, it must be a year and a half or 2 years ago now. Karen says, you have a true partnership and everything that goes with it. I'm happy. Yeah, we are partners in life. We're partners in everything that we do.
We when we were sitting there getting our pictures drawn today, and the guy that was doing our pictures, whose name was Sean, it was spelled the same way as mine, and he was like, "How'd you meet?" And
well, first of all, he knew when we walked up. I put this also in the comments. When we mentioned Dr. Phil, because he asked that, I know that's what you're about to say. He remembered.
Right, but
he knew.
it was the other artist that was next to him that was like, "Do you guys watch Dr. Phil?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I says, "You remember the episode?" And we described the episode, and she goes, "Yeah." And then
So
she looked at me and she goes, "You were on it, and you're him." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm that guy." I'm that guy.
It was interesting. And then they always go, and I'm like, nope, not me.
Yeah, but once
no Dr. Phil for me.
Yeah. Anyway, so he could tell, and we talked about like the guy that was drawing our pictures. We were talking about. He said I had toxic partners in my life, and he explained. He was a young guy, young dude, and he was talking about it's not only about boundaries that you set for others. I thought it was very interesting. He was pretty wise for his age. He was a young kid. He said it's not just the boundaries that you set for others, but you have to self-impose boundaries on yourself,
right?
So that you don't keep, the same type of behavior that's been attracting the things that had been you've been attracting your whole life. If you change your actions to your values and set boundaries on yourself, it'll attract a different type of friends, different type of potential partners and stuff like that.
If you're not out to save somebody.
Right. No more Captain Save-A-Ho.
Yeah.
And I would say I wouldn't put him over 30 years old. He looked like he was like in his 20s, maybe his late 20s.
No, I thought he was a cool dude.
Yeah, he was a real cool dude. If you check our community page, you'll see the character that he did of us. And
there was an artist sitting behind us who's had clients, and I didn't hear it happen, but she got done and she took quite a while doing this person's, and they stood up and looked at it and went, "Nah, that's okay," and walked off. And these people did not look like they didn't have a lot of money. It was not, I saw them, I just didn't know that they had done that. I was like, I don't know that I would have said anything, but I probably would have given her $10 or so, which again, that's not healthy. You don't have to make everybody else's hurt feelings better.
Yeah. She's over there trying to make a living.
When she's just, okay, well, we'll give her 10. And it's like, when you think like that, it's exactly, you can't make it all better for her.
And the thing about, they had sort of not a long line, but they were pretty busy. There was 3 different people doing them.
Busy.
And they had, like, as soon as she didn't even have time to like freaking let it set in, like they got up and said, "Nah, we don't like it," and they walked off. And there was another couple ready to go. So you got to she had to shake it off, and she had to go do another one.
Yeah.
And
Lizzie was recuperating from a big surgery and decided to watch Dr. Phil. Oh my God. Was that are you saying that that's how you found us, or are you saying that just in general, you were like, wow? It could be either way. Let us know, Lizzie.
There was a while,
Captain Save-A-Ho, yes.
Yes, Captain Save-A-Ho. And Mandy's had to remind me, something will happen, there'll be a bunch of stuff. And she said, "Sean, you're no longer Captain Save-A-Ho. You don't have to do that anymore." And it's just,
Lizzie said yes.
I worked at retail, and so I'm always dealing with people.
Yes, Presley, you're right. We all have all of this group's partners are like true partners in every sense. Oh, okay. I was like, what was that? I thought I was a chicken. I was like, what happened? So yeah. So Lizzie said yes. I'm not sure what. Maybe that Sean was so sweet. And I felt so bad for him.
I know. I mean, most of the people, and I'm not
He was so handsome. He's still.
That's what people said. It was like, it's that show and Dr. Phil in general. It's a train wreck, and that's what the show's supposed to be.
That's what they want. And if you
supposed
go
to have
there
a bunch
thinking you're gonna
most
be,
of the people that would watch it when they were like giving their 2 cents about the show, they went, "Well, you look good." I'm like, "Well, thank you, really." I had about 5 pounds of makeup, but I looked good, and they were like, "Yeah, you looked good."
Yeah.
And so I was like,
well,
okay.
you had color, and you hadn't had color in your face.
They had to give me the color, though.
That's what I'm saying, though. They gave you looked, and your hair. Did they do your hair too?
They did everything.
That looks really good too.
You feel my face right now. You feel how if you look in the mirror, you would see that stubble.
Yeah.
That's what I had, and they freaking put the makeup right over it.
They didn't care.
I didn't shave.
Was it pancake makeup?
It was base.
Did what happened? So you went back to the hotel. Did you wash your face before you took the plane home? Because they sent you home that day, right? Did they send you home that day?
They did. No, you really didn't have much time for any of that.
So you went on the plane with all that makeup on?
I don't remember. I know that there was a bathroom in there in the dressing room. I'm sure maybe I did.
Or they gave you something instead if you want to take it off.
But no, she was throwing such a fit that they had the, I think it was lift.
Nice.
They called lift or something, and they threw us straight into the lift and straight to LAX, right?
It was no more limousine.
Yep.
No more limousine.
No, it was a limo and all that when they pick you up and they take you to the loft. But on the way out, I guess if you show your ass or whatever,
I'd be like, but wait, I want to go to the Price is Right.
I know.
I don't want to go home yet.
They get that from time to time. That
they probably say you can wait, but you're not. We're not paying for you to go home, and you ain't staying here.
Like if you bail on them, you're probably ass out too.
You're right about that. Let's see, the fall was all it took. Covenant Highs. We are blessed. You, Rach, I think is how she goes by. Hubby have been married. Sean, he's also Irish, and they've been married for 30 years. I was telling him that today. He needs to embrace his Irish heritage. And he was like, what does that look like? Well, you need to eat corn, beef, and cabbage.
Well, I mean, my Irish heritage, so it's too late to be a cop, right?
Yeah. Well, is there a lot of cops?
Oh, yeah. Up north, a lot of cops, like a lot of like boxers and fighters and stuff like that.
That they live up there?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of them. You look at the UFC, like Sean O'Malley and all. There's a bunch of them, and that's always been that way.
That's cool.
But
Sean, I think you look 100% better now. You're healthy, happy. You looked totally drained of life. On Dr. Phil, just my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I suppose he was the part where he just kind of was like, and Wendy, which it's fair that she's like, are you gonna get your wife? Because it was fair. I mean, she had pitched a fit and fallen out, and I don't know why she chose to do it by Robin.
That's the thing about, like, how when we're doing drama and we tell people to cam up and we tell Wendy to cam up. I have seen Wendy personally, and she could cam up. I mean, she could. I mean, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't.
Well, yeah,
remember,
but I'm just saying that it was fair. Sean was just kind of like, get your wife, and he was like, hold on.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it not just like on stage there, but like in passing, But yeah. Anyway,
it was yeah. Anyway, it was fun because the lady. Not the one that got walked out on. This other one was super into it, but she kept having clients. Yeah. So she couldn't really like get into it, but you could tell it was killing her. She wanted to ask all about it. Yeah. She said, I am a trash TV watcher.
Yeah. I gave her a bunch of links on the way out of, OG stuff and the trailer for the Dr. Phil. And she was happy, but she was moving straight on to another client. I mean, I guess if you're a good artist like that, you can make a lot of money. Because we know what we paid and what we tipped the guy. And if they do that 10 times every day, 15 times every day for 2 weeks, that's
rent money.
It's pretty good money.
Yeah. And until I saw you on YouTube, I thought Dr. Phil was, it is fake, but he's all about someone showing their ass.
The thing about it is they lie to you. You know, not to go down the rabbit hole, but we are. They lie to you. And the thing about LA, and if anyone's from out there, and I'm not trying to just say LA as a whole, but Hollywood, someone, you know, like I've always said, if you don't have your word and if you're a liar and stuff, if you don't have your own word, you don't have anything, right? But they will literally straight face tell you that something's going to happen and then do something completely different. And when you call them on it, they just look at you and shrug like, well, yeah, that's what we do here. It's like integrity there is not a thing. It's, you know, part of it is to lie. It's like bad salesmen or something.
That's kind of like why when they were emailing, because they wanted to do a follow-up because that Sasquatch kept bugging him, it was like, why would he go back knowing what the shit show it was?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
like,
but I guess they have people on follow-ups. But if you think about it, if you go on a show like that, you know, one of the silver linings in it is that it is not the rock bottom, but it is a pretty bad place to be. But there are people that have turned their lives around. And, you know, but the thing that would be hard for Dr. Phil is that people that have turned their lives around or in positions like me that get out of that situation they were in and find somebody that's healthy for them and, you know, have their happily ever after, why in the fuck would we want to go back?
Yeah.
Why would we want to?
That was kind of the thing when he goes, they emailed me. We actually both got emailed the same day. And he's like, they emailed me. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, they must think I'm fucking stupid.
Right. And they
emailed twice because the Yeti kept going, I want to do a follow-up.
Yeah. So, and me, it was like 3 or 4 times. And they were like, are you blah, 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 blah. But it's like, why? I guess, I mean, because even if you wanted to sell you a show, like if what I mean by how they lie a lot and their integrity is like, even if they called me and said, no, we know you're doing better and you seem to be doing good, and we just want to have a show to show everybody how you turn your lives around. You know it's a fucking lie, because when you walk away from that, when you get on that plane after they throw you on a lift, after your freaking partner's having a meltdown and has to be nearly restrained, you know, the one thing, if you don't believe or you don't retain anything at all about that experience, know that they lied to you the complete journey to get you there. And they lied to you up until the point that you got on that stage. And then you come back and you go, you lied to me. Well, yeah, that's what we do. Why in the hell would you believe them when they call you to tell you that they want you to come back? I mean, you have to be less than dumb.
And they don't even say something like, well, this time they just put it out there again. So Rach said, did you guys get paid?
No.
Presley says, what's the temperature? It was 74 degrees all day in Georgia. It's probably a little cooler now.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of venues around us. One was having a wedding, and I thought, what a beautiful day.
Yeah,
sunny, clear sky, 74 degrees. I was like, wow, they lucked out.
Like, we live up in the hills, right, in Lumpkin County, Georgia.
Hey, Lady Guinevere.
But all around where we live, it's not just we're not just living out here with nothing. There are like vineyards out here, and like Mandy said, there are venues out here. People have taken this because it's about an hour drive from the city. So from Atlanta, people come all the way from Atlanta to have weddings out here.
I'm sorry, Lady Guinevere. She says, "Hey fam, missed you. 2 hurricanes in 3 weeks."
I know.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Lady Guinevere. Hopefully, tell me. Where can you, I don't want you to tell exactly where you are, but
I mean, there are people in Florida that got,
I think I know.
Okay, so we know that Helen came up through the Panhandle and up, you know, straight up in just devastated North Carolina. And then Milton came through and went, you know, like pretty much west to east across central Florida. But there's that little niche up there. Like I have some ex-family members, some of Jessica's family that live in Valdosta. They got pieces of both of it. Yeah. You know, Valdosta, Georgia, then South Georgia and a little part of North Florida weren't in the direct path of either, but got, you know, got debris and got the effects of both.
Yeah, it was, I can imagine. So she hasn't said where she is yet, but yeah, I bet when that cool air came on, it was such a relief, like that it came on. Again, that's why I'm like, we don't have any issues.
Right.
It encouraged us to come out, play with the chickens, hang out with you guys out here.
Yep. And it's supposed to get cooler and cooler every day this week. Like Wednesday night or Thursday night, supposed to be in the high 30s Wednesday night. So
it's
I think you
56
can still read.
degrees.
I think you can still work the heat, even though the AC part doesn't work. I
Yeah.
think you can.
It's
so.
beautiful out
Yeah,
here.
it's nice.
And like y'all know, we've got a neighbor that stays in a tent. And I'm sure they're glad that it's cool out here.
But yeah, I mean, I've got
Orlando,
friends.
okay.
You know, those of y'all that follow me, you remember the times when I would leave that situation? I'd go to Asheville. Some of y'all remember that. I was in Asheville, North Carolina, the night that Mandy and I crossed over for the first time.
Yes.
So Asheville is near and dear to me, and my friends that I stayed with, he got his power back like 3 days ago, and that was about 12 days ago that Helen came through, I believe.
I
right?
hope he knew he was welcome to come here and
Like,
hang out.
12 or 13 days. I think he said 8 or 9 days with no power.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't. Right now, we don't have mosquitoes. We have had them previously. Nothing's getting us now. They don't ever get me, but they eat Sean.
I am surprised I'm not being eaten alive. Normally, like
sweatshirt weather.
On a summer night, once it's dusk.
Mm-hmm.
So when it gets down into about like the low 80s or mid 80s in like the middle of the summer, I get eaten alive out here. I wouldn't be out here at all without off on, but I think it literally might be too cold for them right now.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. I'm glad we can distract you, Lady Guinevere. We try to be tactful and not nothing else. We're real.
We were talking about.
Thank you,
Lady Guinevere. Everything that y'all are going through, and you throw us a super chat. It means everything.
Yeah.
We were talking about that, like people that are on the internet that do it, somebody that is, in our community, a couple people in our community, of course, that are on here acting like they're in hurricane areas and stuff like that, grifting for money because that's what they do. Or you have people that are on YouTube. We watch them, Sprite Can. There's a channel called Sprite Can that uploads all these grifters and things like that. And you watch them, that they do it every day. They come on and they every day without any other content except for just asking for money. Like that's their hustle. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how can they do that right now? They do it every day to try to raise $30 or $40 a day or whatever. And it's a grift and they get it. How do they do that right now with all the loss right now? And it's just really weird to me.
It's
how
very
they can do
weird.
It. But it's their thing. It's what they do.
Yeah. It's disgusting. There's one that I think that Stitching was asking about the spiders. I think she meant the Juro spiders.
The Juro spiders.
Thank you, Presley, for if y'all could hit the thumbs up, that'd be awesome. The Juros, I think you're asking about the Juro spiders, like the greenish colored ones that we have yellow, like shorts greenish, about them. Yeah. Right now, I'm happy to say we cannot find any on our property, on the property we rent. I have to make that clear. Because we have used our rake and gotten them all down for our chickens to eat. It's one chicken.
One chicken follows. As soon as I pick up the rake, she just follows you all around the yard and looks at the rake every time you put it down.
She thinks the rake manufactures the spiders.
But if I lift up a stone, like when we're
I videoed that too. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to see that. I'll lift up the stone, a walking stone, and she'll stick her head under there and look for beetles and stuff like that. And I'm like, get your head out of there.
Yes, Lady G, that's awful. I feel bad asking for anything. Most people do. Everybody has hard times every now and then, but if your whole hustle is coming on and begging for money, and this girl I try to catch it. Her name is Lisa Richards. Most of you know exactly who she is. I think we talked about her last time. When she starts the fake crying, but she's good at it. And the please, Sean can't handle it.
It's a tantrum.
It's a tantrum, but when she starts that real pathetic, please, it kind of gets to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
and it gets well, your journey was with Tramdoll, but when you can tell she's withdrawing from something and she's begging and begging and
that's
begging.
All she does.
Anyone who's ever done it is like, oh man, it does. I've never seen her live. I don't watch TikTok, so it's always a recording, so it's not a choice anyway. But yeah, she's a dumpster fire.
And we found out that there's literally dozens of people that cover her.
There's people that have gotten tens of thousands of subs. You would think that
they would throw her a few dollars here and there because they're,
Yeah, I never seen. If you look her up, she's all over. Okay, Presley, she's moving to her front room. Her child was removed. Man, her daughter, Abby, lets her freaking have it. And Abby supposedly had a baby. And depending on who you talk to, whether or not Abby was also, you know, they call them rugs, abusing rugs, then she didn't have that baby very long. It was probably a Leticia situation where
Is that our neighbor we know, or is that further on down? Coming home. This dude works like.
no, that's the end of the cul-de-sac.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We found, you know that Mandy showed the last live the guy Nick. I think his name is.
He's
Nick
got a whole
Harris.
channel. Do y'all?
We found a channel of somebody that uploads everything by him, right?
I think I posted a clip from it last night for people who want to keep up with him. He is quite the case study. I will post that channel again. I don't know if I'll do it on Mrs. ATX or this one, but I will post it for those of you. It is a phenomenal watch him. He is. He's a case study for sure.
And his girlfriend is a piece of work too. When the ones that we saw from Sprite Can, she's not very active in the chat, but apparently they've had like they've had domestics like on their live streams. Like she's beat him up like on a live stream. They've both been to jail. They both had like stints in prison for things, and they openly admit that it. But it's also the stream we watched last night is they profess their ride or die for each other, you know, and I'd never seen that type of thing, but she comes on.
They were like petting each other.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were definitely on something, right. I think.
He kept feeling her hair and.
And they kept saying their words over like 3.
They just loved the sound of what they were
voice,
saying.
Yeah, they were definitely on something. I was trying to feel like Molly or something like that.
You're 100% right, Karen. I know you mean while the beast was dancing and singing in the tub while others were hanging on for dear life.
That's right.
100%. Whenever you get a clothes-on bathroom dance routine, you know that
I've been present for one of those, and
someone is not getting any attention.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep.
Let me beat your ass, but I will love you forever. Yeah, they have. I think she's talking about. No, you've never heard of Lisa Richards. Let me see. Anyone causing drama over in the... No. Well, we're not keeping up with it too much. As much as we probably would prefer to keep up with it, we've been too busy.
Yeah. It's I've heard that people have reacted to our video or posted our video, and then there's other people that have reacted to the people
they say we're boring as shit.
Yeah, there are people that...
Let us be boring.
I just stumbled across
39
these
people
threads.
Don't give a shit that we're boring.
So
well,
there was someone who reacted to our video, but then I was concentrating on the people that were reacting to the person that was reacting to our video, and they were like, "Dude, why are you reacting to it?" I mean, they're not doing anything, and we don't react. We don't watch the people that react to us.
Trust me, people telling us are boring. That is a compliment.
I know. We don't react to the people that we don't watch the people that react to our videos, but I will definitely chuckle at the people that react to the people that react to us. That's always fun to watch, and I appreciate them.
Do y'all ever watch those reactions where someone is reacting to a reaction of a reaction? I get so confused, and sometimes the person reacting to the reacting, it originally was them. So you've got someone reviewing them, and then this person reviewing, and then the voice, you're like...
I mean, I guess for views, if you do a video and then someone reviews it and it pisses you off, so you review them reviewing you, it's kind of like, I guess it can go back and forth for however.
It's very interesting. Yeah. I used to be able to put like an AirPod in and then get done what I need to get done and listen to it. But lately I haven't been able to do that because if I'm working out here, I'm afraid that, it's loud stuff. I couldn't hear it anyway. So I try to keep it. I've gone down the Lisa Richards rabbit hole, but I think I'm done with that.
Yeah,
I've seen all I've really got to see,
We're like we said, we've got a channel where all of Nick Harris's TikToks, and that's his last name, I'm pretty sure. Unless it's just the last name he's using. But I like to watch him because he is he's a male train wreck. And
he's a male train wreck.
You don't see those. You don't see male dumpster fires like that too often. I mean, we have people OG that people will say, but this guy is a different level male dumpster fire for sure. Like,
yeah. When Moxie, when I get confused, like when I've wanted to go on her panel the last couple times she's been live, but it really just something has come up. Good things have come up, but I just couldn't do it. But you're right. Sometimes I hear someone talking that, like, I'll go, "Oh, Paula's there," and they're like, "No, she's not. We're reacting to a reaction of what." Oh, okay. So who's on your panel? Because there's all these boxes
And
everywhere.
I have found myself.
Alice will always be there for us.
Yes, Alice. She's still intriguing to me, but I find myself sometimes when I hear people reacting to whatever, and maybe I know something about that, or if I've given up trying to be like, no, it's not exactly. It's just.
It's no worries.
It's no worries.
No, it's not even worth like the time that it takes to do it. Alice will always be there. It is very dark.
It is dark. I mean, there's like 36 people that are
I know
listening to our audio
Talk
that
in the
can
dark.
barely.
I'm gonna get tea before we settle in for the night.
I'm gonna go in and watch. I think the Ohio State-Oregon game has started. That's
And
number
Georgia
2.
was playing today. He did. I'm not trying to, but he didn't even bat an eye. He was like,
No.
"We're going to the Carnival,"
Yep.
and then he turned it on the radio on the way back, and I was like, "I didn't know they were playing," and he's like, "Doesn't matter. This was more important," and I was like, "Well,
Priorities, guys. Priorities.
we didn't touch grass. It was all concrete."
Yeah, it was all concrete, but
He didn't play the basketball game. It was too expensive, but it was funny. I was like,
she almost
"There's
got
the
me
hoop."
too.
Should he? Now, Sean played basketball in high school. I've never actually seen him play, but
Karen says they're watching that game right now.
he used to the infamous shoes, the Christmas gift that was heard around the world. Those Nike high tops were when he was playing in a was it an old people's league?
It was like an over 40 league or something like that.
And
Yeah.
and so those are the shoes that he had. But anyways, I've actually never even seen him shoot a basket. So, but I was teasing him because Sean's fairly competitive in certain things. I said, not competitive because I don't mean against me, but just he wants to, you can't doubt his skills, especially with fishing. So I was like, "Oh, there's the basketball thing." I said, "Oh, but look how far away the net is. I would love to win that, but I don't want to put you in that position. Like if you miss." And he was like,
I almost blew $100 right there. I almost went to the ATM and got $100 right there. But then I was on to her. I was like, no.
I said, "Oh, it's okay. We'll just buy a stuffed animal on the way home." And he was like, and I was like, then he goes, "You're just fucking with me." And I was like, "Yes, we're not going to go spend money for you to shoot a basket."
I will hand that guy my money. I'll take 2 dribbles and dunk the basketball.
What
right
I
over
did
it.
like is that they were winning basketballs that had different patterns on it.
Yeah,
I thought that
that's
was
true.
cool.
We saw one kid
So,
bouncing a ball that was all money, like dollar bills.
ooh, Oregon 6, Ohio is 7. Donna, hello, love. It's good to see all of you guys. I'm splitting. I'm going to do some footage for members and some footage for
guys. I'm
public.
supposed to stay on to Mandy to upload all this stuff.
Yep.
If you guys,
What do you call it? Put
free.
the hammer down.
I'm like, you got it. We have people.
I got tons of like from out here, from there, on the way, laughing, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
so.
we need to do that. And we have people that are wanting to see that.
So good to see you, Donna. I'm glad you came by.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we
right.
sign off, all of these people are in our thoughts. All joking aside,
Yeah.
oh, that was a leaf.
It's
All
crazy.
joking aside, man, it's bad. It's super bad. The disasters we've had recently and the aftermath.
I did not realize that 2005 with Katrina and Rita, and I think there was one more in 2005.
Night stitching.
Those were 3 of the biggest hurricanes that were recorded. And when I say biggest, most of the time when they're like Category 5s, they're still offshore and they slow down a little bit before they make landfall. Helene hit as a 4, Milton hit as a 3, so it's one of those things that here we are, we've had 2. 2005, we had 3. And let's just hope for the best and hope there's not a 3rd one this season, So,
yeah. And when you give to reputable places that are collecting money. Just do the homework and make sure that, anybody can pretend that they're in a disaster area to try to get money, but just make sure that you're donating to something that is for sure going to a good cause, because there are predators out there.
Most of the people that you're not going to be able to see just because of the way the towers go, the signals for phones and the way it is. If you have somebody that can come on and just e-bag that they're in a storm, they're probably not, because the people that are really in that path aren't able to do that. They're not able to do that for days. So there you
But
go.
y'all keep bankrolling them.
No.
That's so stupid.
People
But
do
just verify who you send your money to. Like the Red Cross is always a good place. There are some reputable GoFundMe's, but there's a whole lot of people lurking in there who are lying and just don't feel like working.
If you're in the around the surrounding states, that in the South, there's so many churches that are doing, you know, like food drives and water drives and things like that. And
FEMA is paying for hotel rooms and shelters for the people who are affected. No private entity should be paying for someone's hotel room if they are in the area of the storm. They're providing that. So just be careful who you give your money to. We love you guys. Thank you, everybody.
I'm going to watch the football game and I'm going to watch Nick.
And I need iced tea.
She needs iced tea.
We're old.
And I might send her into Ingles to get me a thing of Tillamook vanilla bean ice cream.
My old sexy man loves Tillamook vanilla bean, not homemade vanilla.
It's got to be Tillamook. Some of the other stuff get close, but
you
Tillamook
want chocolate on
right.
it? Say no.
I don't want that.
He loves vanilla ice cream. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was kind of a peaceful, serene night. We wanted to share that with you. Y'all have a good night. We love you. Bye.